For Meji YouTube video K Lia Oper Jo Tum NY Story Lik KDHS K Oper Time N Strong Hook Lik K Do. Hook Jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity Sai Barpor Hona Chaye K Mary Veur Engage Ho JN our video Ko NTK Decken Afternoon Delight. The air was thick with heat. Golden sunlight spilled through the half-drawn curtains. Dust floated lazily, turning in slow circles. Mara sat at the kitchen table, her fingers tracing the rim of a glass. The lemonade inside had gone warm. Outside, cicadas screamed like tiny machines. She could hear the hum of the refrigerator, steady, too steady. Then, a faint creak from the hallway. It was soft, almost polite. Her breath caught. No one else was supposed to be home. The creak came again, closer this time. She turned her head slowly, the chair legs whispering against the floor. The air felt heavy, syrupy, pressing against her skin. Something in the stillness had changed. The clock on the wall ticked once, loudly, as if startled. Her eyes fixed on the doorway. A shadow slipped across the light, quick and deliberate. The glass trembled in her hand. A drop of lemonade slid down her wrist, cold against the heat. And then, from the other side of the door, a voice she knew, spoke her name. Afternoon Delight, continued. A voice she knew, spoke her name. Mara. It was soft, almost gentle, but the sound of it struck her like a cold hand against her back. She froze, eyes locked on the empty doorway. The house answered with silence. Not even the cicadas dared to sing. Mara, the voice said again, from deeper in the hallway now, as if moving toward her. It was a voice she had not heard in months. A voice that should have been gone. Her pulse quickened. Every beat felt like it was shaking her ribs apart. She rose slowly from her chair. The legs scraped the floor with a low screech that made her wince. Her hand reached out to the counter for balance. The air smelled faintly of lemon, metal, and dust. Her throat was dry. Mara, the voice whispered again, closer, so close she could almost feel the breath behind the sound. She turned toward the hallway. The corridor was dim, the late afternoon light bleeding orange against the far wall. Every shadow seemed to stretch and move. Her bare feet touched the wooden floorboards. They creaked beneath her weight, a whisper of movement that felt far too loud. Step by step, she moved toward the sound. The air grew cooler. A strange draft brushed her arms, carrying with it the faint scent of damp earth. The smell did not belong inside the house. Her hand trembled as she reached for the hallway light switch. When her fingers touched it, it clicked, but nothing happened. The bulb above flickered once, then died. A shiver ran through her shoulders. She could hear her own breathing, shallow and uneven. Then, a soft knock, 3 times, from inside the living room. She stopped moving. Her heart was hammering so hard she thought the sound might give her away. Mara, the voice again, only this time, it sounded wrong. Too stretched, too wide, like it was being pulled through a mouth that did not quite know how to form her name. She took a step back. The floor creaked beneath her heel. She clutched the edge of the wall, her nails scraping the paint. "Who's there?" she tried to say, but her voice came out thin, barely a breath. The knock came again, this time, from the kitchen. Right behind her. She spun around. Nothing. The glass of lemonade was still on the table, but it was no longer trembling. It was perfectly still. Too still. Her chest tightened. She took one step toward the table. Something wet dripped onto her wrist. She looked up. The ceiling above the table had a faint stain spreading outward, dark, irregular. A single drop fell again, clear, almost syrupy, landing on the rim of the glass. Her breath hitched. She stepped back, eyes never leaving that spot. The house groaned. A sound like the wood itself was exhaling. Then, faintly, she heard movement from upstairs. Footsteps. Slow, measured, not hurried, but certain. Someone was walking across the landing. Mara swallowed hard. She knew she had locked the front door. She had checked it twice. The steps stopped. Mara. The voice was above her now, directly over where she stood. It was clearer this time. And it was smiling. The air seemed to pulse, heavy with silence. Her mind began to race, memories flashing behind her eyes like flickering film. That same voice, months ago, calling her from across a rain-soaked parking lot. That same voice, just before the accident. The crash. The